The killer shoved an electric shock baton with a voltage of 1000 volts into the agent's mouth, all in an attempt to obtain a piece of military secret. However, the agent remained steadfast and refused to utter a word. With a large number of rescue troops on the verge of arriving, the killer had no choice but to leave them with a corpse. Strangely enough, instead of going after the killer, the CIA immediately took the agent back to the laboratory and cut open his head. This was because that piece of military intelligence was known only to the agent himself and was of crucial importance to national security. While he still had his last breath and the neurons inside his brain were still active, the headquarters brought in a death row inmate, preparing to transplant the agent's memories onto the prisoner. With everything in place, the neurosurgeon drilled a small hole in the prisoner's head. Then, by manipulating the robotic arm, it accurately reached the frontal lobe position. Next, theta waves were released to create the same pattern of neuronal distribution inside the prisoner's brain as that of the agent. Initially, everything was going smoothly, but just as the final step was being carried out, the prisoner's body temperature began to skyrocket rapidly, soon reaching the limit that his body could endure. If the operation wasn't stopped, the prisoner's life would be in danger. Upon hearing this, the director of the CIA immediately became furious. He ordered the doctors to continue the operation, regardless of the prisoner's life or death.
Carry on!
At the critical moment, the prisoner's body temperature returned to normal, allowing the operation to be completed. After the operation, Director Gordon was the first to rush into the ward. He demanded that the prisoner disclose that piece of military intelligence. However, the prisoner had just undergone the operation and his head was throbbing with pain. He simply didn't want to listen to what the director had to say. But the director didn't care about his life or death. He kept telling the prisoner about what had happened to the agent. Suddenly, various fragmented scenes flashed through the prisoner's mind, and many unfamiliar faces emerged. It seemed that the operation had taken effect.